I was just reading his book After America, and he brought up the point that Pakistani Muslims in England marry their first cousins. It's legal. It's not only legal. It's part of their religion, allowed by their religion at a rate of 56% these days. And they thought, well, you know, they'll outgrow this once they stay here and play, you know, watch Manchester United play football on TV, whatever. But after generations, it just kept going and going. And there was an article by a lady named, I think, Barnhart, an American thinker, a while back. She pointed out that this has been going on for over 1,000 years, or 1,400 years. And she is a rancher. She breeds animals. So if you have animals that marry their first cousin, you have a much, and Stein mentioned this as well, you have a much higher rate of disease, illness, madness. It's a great strain on the national health system of Great Britain because these people have a bunch of rare genetic diseases. That's why it's illegal among Western countries, such as Britain has been, and the United States, to marry one's first cousin. And that is an argument I don't think the left can, I mean, they can ignore it, or they can't deny it.
Oh, they can't deny it, but they'll simply say you're an absolute racist for raising it in the first place. Even though we're all taxpayers, and we all know that the hospitals in Britain now are grossly overrepresented with these poor little Muslim kids, and I don't mind them when they're this big. You know, they're poor little Muslim kids to me, and they've got the most horrible genetic disorders. And there's something like, you know, they outnumber the native Brits' genetically disordered children by something like 7 to 1, and you know, but they're only, you know, that less percentage of the population. So yes, it's a big problem. Yes, sir.
Two quick questions. One is, you were speaking about defamation laws in Europe and so on. The way you closed your talk by saying that Islam is the most barbaric, fascist. Can you say that in England? And also, no. So what can you say, and how are you going to campaign? And also, what percentage of Muslims are converting out of Islam? What numbers are you familiar, and what numbers of non-Muslims are converting to Islam in England and Europe?
Well, I know, I'll answer your second question first. Yes. I know we've got something like 100,000 British people are converting to Islam every year at the moment, and the vast majority of them, I think 90% of them, are women. So I'm not quite sure what they're thinking.
It's just about the marrying Muslim men.
What about the other way, from Islam to Christianity? Or?
As regards the other way around, I don't know, but what I would imagine is very small, because they really don't like them leaving. And on your first question, I'm not going to be able to say these particular things in Britain about barbaric and illiberal, but I can make the point about numbers, and I can make the point about statistics, and the fact that some mosques are saying these things which is against our unwritten constitution. So I can say these things, but I can't be quite so rude as that.
Thank you.
Sorry,
yes. This may sound odd, but to some extent I think Europe is stronger about some things, such as being able to ban the veil in the public schools. That's something we could never do here. The First Amendment would be dragged out as, you know, absolute barrier to that. Something about the Danish immigrants cannot marry wives, native wives or something. Restrictions like that are totally impossible in the United States. Sometimes it seems Europe can do more.
Well, I think Denmark's a good example. Denmark is probably one of the more healthy European countries. But France recently passed this law banning the veil. But France passed the law because Sarkozy is running neck and neck with Marine Le Pen from Front National. And he's getting a little bit concerned about this. So he said, right, I'm going to try and steal some of her support by banning the veil. Now, this was announced a huge fanfare, was it 3 months ago, 4 months ago? But I haven't heard of a single person being prosecuted. And I have no doubt that the Muslims are just flaunting this and getting away with it. So yes, you're right in one way, but I think we're just pretending on certain things, except for Denmark, which is a very, very good country.